So Tom Reed here, Traverse City, Michigan, ran into this guy. You're Fountain of Youth.
Mm-hmm.
You look young.
I am.
How old
I'm
are
20
you?
years old.
Oh, you look younger than that. Your name, sir?
I'm 20. But I'm Samuel.
Samuel. And Samuel, I take these videos and I upload them to YouTube. You all right with that?
Yeah, totally. 100%.
So Samuel, where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina. I was living in Jacksonville, North Carolina, outside the military base for a while, and then I moved up here eventually when my parents got out of here. Been living homeless since I was 14.
No way.
Believe that?
Wow. So you
Sell
moved.
drugs all the time. Now I just live life.
Oh, so you're no drugs in it anymore, right? Good for you.
I smoke weed sometimes, but that's it.
Oh, okay. And what type jobs have you had in your life?
So I've had absolutely none. I've never had a job.
You haven't. And is there a reason for that?
Severe PTSD from trauma.
Okay.
Parents caused trauma, beaten, closeted, and tied up and shit for days on end. I got taken away from my mom because of it, but I ended up being able to do enough therapy and learn enough psychiatry to be able to function at least on a minimal level.
Well, good for you. So you're doing okay?
Oh yeah.
Now, are they still up around here, your parents?
Nope, not no more. My parents are all living separate now.
Oh, gotcha. Now, do you have any family up here?
Mm-mm.
So
I came up here so I could fucking get my fucking life together, and I'm working on it, so.
Oh, good for you. So it's heading in the
yeah.
right direction.
One day you guys are gonna see me, I'm either gonna be rapping, being famous, or I'm gonna be on YouTube.
Okay, I'm already on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
So you're a rapper?
I am.
Oh, wow.
You wanna hear a bar?
I do.
So, in the life I live, people always want to say, they always think there's something they got to explain. No, it's just something so they can see the light in the show. They got to know life so they can get away from all these hoes. They stealing their hearts, trying to show them love, but then it ends up fake at the end of the day because of all the drugs. It makes you get lost, get away from the people who are acting like they boss. There's nothing about intimidation. You got to explain that people are okay in their factor in their made condition. No one's gonna change. Everybody's gonna be who they are at the end of the day. There's nothing you can do. Do you want to change? Do you want to show these people what you can do? Do you want to go off the roof and blow up in the world so they know who you are and your friends too? Maybe. Some people crave fame. I do. Sometimes I'm always looking for it on the next stage. It might not be there, but then it becomes something. Hey, you never know, there's always a chance. You might make it big or you'll still be stuck in with the good dance. Either way, I'm still stunting on them because they want to play.
Excellent.
Not even memorized, freestyle.
Wow.
Give me a word.
So you've never done that one before?
Nope. I can't memorize anything because I'm so fried. It's drugs.
You got a hell of a talent there.
Thank you.
Now, have you had a chance to pitch yourself anywhere?
What'd you say?
Pitch yourself, like sell yourself, market yourself?
I haven't. Never have.
Well, I'm going to put it up there.
Hell yeah.
So, before I forget, I doubt that I would, but if people wanted to contact you with regarding your rapping ability, do you have an email?
I do.
And what is that?
My email is sketchy-san, as in student for Japanese people. They only say like Naruto-san, I guess it'd be like student, you know?
Okay.
So SKETCHY
Right.
SAN 69 at gmail.com.
Okay,
The
well,
number
sure.
69.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, I'm not going to ask you this. Usually what I ask is your favorite childhood memory, but I think I'm going to pass on that one with you.
I have a few good ones.
You do?
There's
Okay.
a few. Like I remember I was hanging. My dad was always the only one in the family who was good, but he was in and out because he worked for the military.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I didn't get to see him very much, except for when I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
So I got moved from him to my mom's, and that's when things went bad. But anyway, my dad, I remember we were sitting down, and I had this big German Shepherd. I remember like at the time he was like huger than me, but now he's just smaller than me. But I was eating a pizza, and the dog jumped on the table and ran like 3 feet across this giant table, like as big as the dude's car.
Mm-hmm.
Dove for the pizza and snagged the whole pizza right off the table. And me and my dad just looked at each other and started geeking out, just laughing. It was such a good time. That's probably my favorite childhood memory.
Well, that's a good one. How about this favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I would have to say I like Napoleon Dynamite because he is who he is.
Okay. Favorite book?
Favorite book? I'd say Homeland, which is the beginning of R.A. Salvatore's Legend of Drizzt, and because it's the beginning, therefore it's my favorite, because you're always the purest at the very beginning.
Isn't that the truth? And I got to ask you this, of course, favorite rapper?
NF.
For sure.
Definitely NF. And it's not because he has skill, don't get me wrong, but everything he says just happens to hit me on another level, because I feel like, even though I don't know the guy and I don't know much about the guy, all of his music is exactly what I think about on the daily. Like, all of it together is like what I think about on the daily, and I think it's beautiful that he's able to explain and express that in the words that he uses. It's like an extreme lyrical talent.
Okay. Now you got this. You gave me this freestyle, so I'm assuming that you have lyrics you've saved and written and prepared.
So I don't.
You don't?
Never have. It's because I can't remember the words after I
But why don't
speak
you
them,
write them down?
because I can't rap too fast to be able to keep up with it.
How would you ever do a concert?
Go on there and kick it.
Different every time.
Different every time.
So I guess you're not putting out any album.
I use certain words. I have a deck of like 40 words that I can use, and then I can rhyme 100 words with those.
Oh, that's
It's not that I have it's not that I'm good at rapping. It's that I have the ability to use my words to explain whatever I want to explain in a rhythm.
You know, I think 60 Minutes did a little blurb on Eminem doing that. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
What would you think of that? Saving up all those.
I think that his talent is different than mine, but it's to be respected and feared because he's one of the best rappers of all time.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. How many people you can walk nowhere in the United States and ask, have you ever heard of Eminem? And someone who's over fucking 13 will say no. Every single motherfucker knows Eminem, bro.
Yeah, right.
So no matter if he's good or not, people think he's good, therefore he's the best.
No, isn't that the
you
truth?
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're good or not. If everybody knows you and there's not a single person, I guarantee you I can name almost any other artist and somebody might not know him. Like NF, I've met people who don't know NF, even though he's popping and won the best album of the year in 2019. I think it was the album The Search. It was just one of his best.
Now, you a religious guy at all?
So I believe that there is a God, but I don't believe it's the Christian God, but I believe it's something that's beyond our ability to comprehend. I think it has something to do with when we die and transcend into the form of light.
Okay. And what do you base that on?
That's what I've seen.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of spiritual, spectral stuff that happens to be the color of light.
All right.
So I tend to think towards light being the universal. I'm a light worker too because I spread happiness wherever I go as much as possible.
Yeah, no, I think
don't
you'd
want
be very
people to
good
be
at it.
mad.
Yeah, you got
I
a lot
want
of
people to
skills,
be happy.
for sure. So if you could just fast forward and you'd like to see yourself in a better environment in a couple years now, where would that be?
So usually I find this hard to believe, but I'm happy.
Are you?
I don't feel lost. I don't feel like I'm homeless, bro. I feel like I'm able to be the freest that I want to be, moneyless. If I had money, that'd be different. I've never had money, so I've never had to worry about it. I've always been able to live life to the fullest without robbing people, just walking around doing my thing.
Yeah, right. Have you kept a journal?
I have not.
It might be something to think about.
I should. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, have you made some good friendships over your travels?
I have. There's a few. I really only talked to like a small group of people, but in that small group of people, they're extremely good and 100% like somebody who would never be able to understand why someone would do something wrong, you know?
Yeah,
like,
gotcha.
But they're still circles. They smoke a lot of weed, so it's perfect.
Oh, okay. Well, you got any questions for me?
Not at all. I
Hey.
just think it's beautiful that you're spreading this around, man. People need to know what people are going through, especially out here, man. A lot of us, I'm young enough where I'm able to handle it out here and able to get around. Some of these people are fucking 80 years old out here and we can barely find a place to stay because it's fucking $1,200 a month
No,
everywhere.
It's true. Not enough
You
money
know,
left for food.
like think about it, man. There's so much work out here, but there's not any work that's gonna get you a fucking place before
No,
you get high.
Thank you. Yeah, you summed it up. I do.
You can't. You're gonna get high out here, bro.
Yeah.
So there's no way you can work a job for a whole year and then save up enough money to get a place.
No, yeah.
That's not a realistic fucking
not.
game plan.
No.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I do.
There's fruits. Everybody has their own vice. Every single person has their own vice or is yet to discover it.
Yeah.
So when you're out here and you get see people with coke and methamphetamine and all these different drugs all the time, or you get exposed to alcohol every day on the daily, you realize you've been drinking for a week in a row and you don't know why you're still there. It's happened to me several times. I've been addicted to heroin and meth before. I'm pretty clean now. I'm fucking smoke weed because I'm tired of feeling like shit. I'm one of the lucky ones who got away a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm one of the lucky ass ones.
Yeah.
Most people I was friends with at the time are all dead or gone now.
Yeah.
The last one. So I'm the last one in my family. My dad is a fucking lawyer. won't take me in, won't talk to me, because apparently I've been homeless, so he doesn't want to hang out with people who smoke weed. And all that kind of stuff. And I tried to I text him every day, once a day, and never get a text back.
Well, you're certainly worldly for your young age.
Thank you very much.
A lot of,
I've been all over the country.
Where's your favorite place?
My favorite place? I like the big McDonald's inside Chicago.
Oh, the one with the cars?
The one downtown that has the big McDonald's, and you can go up the escalators and walk around. And you got all the different McDonald's down there. It's got like the one in Japan and the one in China.
I like that.
Those things are so wicked.
How much time do you spend there?
A lot. I got lost in there tripping on acid.
You know, I lived there right up the street there for 12 years.
Did you?
Yeah, did you happen to remember the Dave & Buster's building?
Yeah, I do.
That's where I live.
I remember that. I've actually been there. My dad took me when I went to Illinois to visit my aunt.
Yeah, I lived in that same building.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I got out of there about 10 years ago.
Hell yeah. It's a very interesting town where Traverse City is very like everything's in one spot and local.
Yeah.
Like when I was homeless in fucking Illinois for a bit, because I thought it would be a good idea to go back there after I was homeless. It was not as good as I thought it was with my dad's car.
No, that's how everything is, yeah.
It's so fucking big, you can't get anywhere.
No, traffic is no. The cars are burning.
Even walking, like the roads are so full that you can't cut how you can here. You can cut across the lanes and shit. There's a car everywhere. You're gonna get ran over.
Now, so of course you remember the Magnificent Mile. Now, when's the last time you were back there?
Almost 2 years now.
Yeah, because I'll tell you that Magnificent Mile is hurting crime.
I know.
They're telling people
sad.
not. Yeah, it is.
It is
retail's
really
in
sad.
trouble, but they're telling people now don't even go out after dark. That's their crown jewel, and it's disappearing.
I know. That's like East Lansing, man. Like when I went to East Lansing, dude. East Lansing is the most slime ball Michigan town.
Now I think you.
And we have our capital there.
Lansing.
Yeah.
Yeah, East Lansing.
East Lansing. That's what I meant.
You meant Lansing.
Lansing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
no,
Lansing.
I only know that because I've been there.
Mean?
No, but I did the same thing. No, East Lansing's where the college is at.
Yep.
Our capital is not too hot.
It's fucking. You go down there, man. I'll stand there for a bit. You walk down there, and there's like board after board after boarded up houses, and then there'd be an apartment complex.
No, it's.
And then there's board and board and board, and then there's an open store, and then there's another one, and then there's a gas station, and then all of a sudden there's more boards.
Yeah.
And you're like, how the fuck is this happening to a place with so many people, bro? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Crime. People are pulling guns on people and fucking shooting people, and no one wants to live there anymore.
That's exactly what it is.
So people are leaving, but the people who are loyal to the place stay, and those people are fucked.
Hey man,
There's nothing
you
left.
ought to write. If you wrote a book, I'd buy it. I'd read it. Because I don't know how you figured all this out so soon. I don't know if that's good or bad either. Because you should.
I think I'm cursed because I figured it out so soon, but I think it's beautiful that I did.
No, it's well put. You got it both ways.
Juice WRLD, legendary rapper. Even some people tell me that he's not a good rapper because of what he says. But that's because they don't want to feel sad. Someone who really understands the down and the depressing drug addict kind of the life. You look at him and you're like, dude, he's a fucking legend, bro. He's the definition of what somebody who is okay with letting go would be. That's what he is. That's why every song he's ever released is the definition if you put them all together.
Yeah, no, I've already.
Beautiful.
YouTube just came out with the thing where they don't want you talking about drugs. So obviously we've blown that. But that's okay. I'm just going to upload it unedited because I think it's worth it. And on that note, now that I'm going to do that with this, how would you experience your experience with drugs? What would you say to someone your age that was getting out in the world? Move on.
I would say never get high.
You would?
Because honestly, I like getting high because I've been getting high. And because I feel like it makes me feel better. But the reason it makes me feel better is because I've done it so much. When I started, it made me feel great, and then all of a sudden I watched my whole life slip by.
Really?
That's pretty much what happened.
But it didn't though, because you're only 20.
I know, but for being from 14 to 20, that's a long fucking time. I've only been sober so long. True. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've only been sober for what, like a year maybe?
Do you think being sober is something to brag about?
I do not. I think that sobriety is a nearly impossible task. That's what I think.
You do?
I smoke weed every day because I can't. If I didn't smoke weed, I would smoke some fucking meth.
Do you think weed is a gateway drug?
I believe weed is a gateway drug, not because of the drug itself, but because the people who are going to smoke weed are going to have a higher tendency of smoking the other shit or being around people who do, because that's lower class people smoke weed, which means there's a lot of lower class rampant hard drugs. So if you hang out with people who are okay with drugs, then you're gonna run into a lot more people with Xanax. So that's what mostly goes around most people at first. So it's not a gateway drug in itself. I think that it's a beautiful thing, but it creates a gateway with the people who are smoking it.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's say hypothetically you had 2 kids, and what would your advice be to them with regard to drug use?
I would say, sir, don't smoke fucking weed, bro.
You really would? You really would?
Yeah,
then
I
if
would.
that's all true and correct,
The only time I would say if you to smoke weed is if you had a form of PTSD from former trauma.
okay.
If you smoke weed and you have PTSD from former trauma, and you smoke indica if you have ADHD, or if you don't have ADD or ADHD and you smoke sativa, you will have an easier time functioning with your stress.
Okay.
I can say that much.
And with that said, what do you think of the new marijuana dispensaries? Good or bad?
Good. But I think it should be harder to get it.
You do?
I think that you should actually have a legitimate issue to get a green card, because people who don't have a legitimate issue with the green card, there's no reason for them to even be smoking that good of weed.
Really?
I've met somebody who doesn't have a green card, bro, and this is the only time I've ever said it, because if one person does it, that means there's more. People are not that unique. If somebody likes rubbing feet, bro, somebody else is gonna like rubbing feet, bro. You know what I mean? I think that's weird as hell. But somebody might like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing against them, but to
Yeah.
me, it weirded me out.
Yeah.
So there's always another side of what anything can be said.
Well, you're definitely a bright guy.
Thank you.
I mean, I think you
Thank
should be
very
doing
much.
a TED Talk, honestly.
I don't know
Are
what
you
that
familiar with
is,
those?
but
It's
thank
where
you.
smart people that have come from all walks of life go on and let these people have it, both barrels, because there's nothing they can screw them out of.
Yeah.
You know, if you reach a certain level, like take right now, you're arguably to some people on the bottom, but if you were marketed right, you were promoted right, and you got people with money behind you, and they legitimized you, you'd be selling out goddamn
Dude,
auditoriums.
I make money all the time by accident.
I believe that. I mean, you got a lot of
Yeah.
You'd be a great salesman.
You know,
You'd probably be a great drug
I
counselor.
have an audiobook right here.
Oh,
How many homeless people you think wants an audiobook you can just plug your headphones into?
Yeah.
A ton.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got it. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna make $10 off of it one of these days, because
Yeah.
I know if I was homeless, because I am, I would want one of these. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're able to survive off $20 for a week because you have the Goodwill Inn taking care of you, because you have severe PTSD and can't go to work, because if you have 6 people behind you for more than 30 minutes, you freak out. That's my problem. I get super bad anxiety.
Okay.
But if I'm in a crowd of people and they're all looking at me, I'm okay.
Isn't that
But
weird?
if there's someone behind me and I can't understand what's behind me, I get really, really stressed out, because I feel like it's putting me in a place of exposure or a place of danger.
On that note, are you a coffee drinker?
I am a coffee drinker.
How would you relate severe
Coffee makes me go to bed, so it's a lot different.
Really? So even if you were having a bad day with anxiety, if you drank the extra large, it wouldn't make it worse?
Not me. So the 98% of people, caffeine makes them awake. I'm part of the 2% people who aren't.
Wow. Why do you
I
drink it
have
then, to go to sleep?
I have what you call ADD mixed disorder, where I'm able to focus, but I can't. I'm able to focus, but I jump around a lot at the same time, because it's hard for me to keep one constant strain of thought unless I think about it intense.
Gotcha.
Unless like how people are like, I gotta quit smoking, I gotta quit smoking, I gotta quit smoking. That's how I talk, because I don't want to say something that I don't mean to say.
Gotcha. Well, you certainly sum this up. One last thing, this place you're going here, this Harbor Light, how would you summarize that in a Reader's Digest version? Good, bad, indifferent, helpful?
I honestly think that it doesn't matter if it's good or not, because we need it.
Yeah, good.
But for what it is and how many fucked up people are in this place, these staff work so fucking hard. They work their ass off every fucking day. You go to the Goodwill Inn, you got people calling them bitches on the constantly, and they just keep going.
Certain type
And
people?
like think about it, like people who go into jobs like that, they're just getting constantly beat on. Someone who calls me a bitch, I have a tendency to blow their fucking shit. You can go ask my friends if you want to later, whatever. Every single time someone calls me that, I'm like, dude, don't call me that. If you call me again, I'm gonna take you down. I don't say it like an asshole. I don't get mad at them, you know, because there's no point in getting mad at them. But you have to explain to them that you're not going to be treated like that. Because I don't let people treat me like that. I'll take a beating. And the reason is because I have way too much pride in me, and to let anybody do that to me. Because when people say something to you, eventually you will believe it.
You think so?
You will, because it's happened to me. Eventually, someone tells you something enough, you will believe it no matter what. That's why when you hang out with addicts and they're always talking about meth, you're gonna get high.
Gotcha.
Even if they don't have it, you're gonna go seek it out one day when you're feeling stressed out, and not on purpose, but unconsciously.
Okay.
It's just the way the world is, bro.
Yeah, I believe that. Well, I can't thank you enough for this. They got your email. I'm sure you'll be hearing from people, and I wish you the best of luck.
I hope so. Thank you very much,
man. This
sir.
is great, man.
You can also text my dad if
You're a
you
good
want.
guy.
I'm sure he'd like to hear about it.
You think he would?
Yeah.
I don't want to I don't know if that's a good idea to put that out here now. Do you think I should?
I think it's a good idea because he hasn't talked to me in fucking 4 years, so shouldn't he hear about how I'm doing?
Well, how about
You know what I mean?
how about off camera? You give me his email, and I'll send him a link to this interview.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good day.